Chris Scalzo here with
Matt Howell.
And this week on the first run, unfortunately, Dave couldn't make it again, so I'm going to fill you in on what I saw, which is not just Unfriended, but I also saw Child 44, and I have a lot of thoughts on both of them. I can't wait to share with you. We'll tell you what's coming up on Blu-ray and DVD featuring, I guess, my streaming pick of the week. And Matt, you can make a recommendation as well if you'd like.
Okay.
And then it's going to be, we'll talk about the news, of course, all the big things going on, and then the TFR Libs, which is our fill-in-the-blank game. So, Child 44 and Unfriended, two different films, and I think I will just start with the one I liked best. So, let's hear a clip from that.
What are you guys doing?
Did you guys buy your tickets 2 weeks ago like I asked you?
No.
Which seats are better, balcony or orchestra?
Hey, Mitch, who's your buddy?
Who is that?
I just tried to hang up on him.
Can we get rid of this person?
I don't know. Was this here the whole time?
It's just probably a glitch.
Well, the glitch just typed.
Who is doing this? This is Laura's account.
Who would hack into a dead girl's account?
Maybe it's Laura.
All right, everyone, hands up right now. Who's doing this?
Oh my god. Guys, seriously, who posted the video?
It wasn't me.
Well, one of us did.
Who's here?
Lock the door!
Lock your door.
Just hide! Why are you showing this? I didn't mean it! I swear to you!
Oh, you swear? Man, what's going on?
What is that?
Ken, talk to us!
So, Matt, that was the trailer for Unfriended, which is the, it's the Skype. It's a Skype horror movie. So that's why
That's the one you liked better, huh?
Exactly. That's why we've gotten off of Skype, because it's just too dangerous.
It is.
So what we're dealing with here is it's basically one of the biggest anti-bullying films I think you're ever going to see, right?
Okay.
This girl, the video gets released of this girl passing out, pooing herself because she's drunk too much. And then somebody posts it on the World Wide Web, and she ends up taking her own life because of it. So while all of her friends are back together, they're on a Skype call. The phone rings. Phone rings. Shows you how old I am. And there's a weird other person on the Skype call, and they don't know who it is. And it appears maybe to be the ghost of this dead girl. And she's somehow able to get them to do certain things to each other individually.
Okay.
While they're on the call, that eventually they all die one by one, trying to reveal who did what and certain truths. And I got to tell you, this thing should not work, but it does.
Interesting.
I was surprised by how effective this film was. I did not anticipate it. It's a tight 88 minutes, so there's not really a wasted moment in it. The death scenes, I don't think are overtly graphic. They're not overly graphic. I didn't think so. Though there's a heavyset kid who puts his hand in a blender, and if that's the way he's going out, that's going to take some time. What else? It's. I want to say it's not a gimmick, but clearly it is.
Right.
But it's still really scary at times. It may rely a little bit too much on the bumps at night, the slamming of doors or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
But I think overall, I like the idea of it, and it's a lot more effective than I thought it was going to be. And when you compare it to some of the crappy horror we've seen, the Platinum Dune stuff, that it just is not good. It's pretty good. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I don't know. That's pretty much it. There's only so much you can really say about a horror film. It's scary enough. It does what it needs to do, and it works surprisingly. So
right.
I'd have to say if you get a chance to check it out.
Interesting.
It's pretty entertaining.
So I'm sorry, maybe I catch this. So there's no is there any social critique around? It's not like the girl who takes her own life. It's not because like any kind of like I don't know, like out of the news, like sexual assault type stuff, or it's just embarrassment from being drunk and pooing herself.
Basically, yeah, and it ruins her life. And
okay,
So
Interesting.
but it's I don't know, I don't want to get too weighty of it and say it's this big comment on cyberbullying,
Right.
but it's there. I mean,
Okay.
the subtext is there. So I don't know. Maybe if it strikes up a conversation about cyberbullying, great. But I don't think that's really what its goal is.
So you shouldn't expect it to be shown to a bunch of ninth graders.
No, you're not gonna have a school day where you're all getting in the gymnasium watching this film.
All right. Well, there you go.
Because there's also some, dirty sex in it. Not graphic, but there is definitely implied stuff. So
Yeah. With poo.
and yeah, well, no, not that. There's not sex with poo. That's a very specific genre that they don't get into, to the film's detriment. All right, so let's move on. Let's hear a little bit from the other film I saw, a film that I actually think I had on one of my most anticipated films of the year. Yeah, it was. So let's hear it.
Are you on your own?
You remember when we first met? You thought that I was rude.
He was staring at me.
I was mesmerized by your beauty. There will always only be you. I came as fast as I could. There's been a terrible accident. Alexei's son has been hit by a train. A train? He's claiming his son was murdered. I am sure you realize murder is strictly a capitalist disease.
You have to be quiet. There is no murder in this country. There is no murder. Do you understand?
Someone has slaughtered my son! And you do nothing!
The killer is still out there.
I have to find him.
I'm coming with you.
I thought you might want to know. There's been another one. I need your help.
Why are these children so important? This animal, he will not stop killing. How are you gonna bring him to justice? Just the two of you?
Somebody has to.
Another child could die any moment.
I will stop him.
So, Matt, let me tell you, Child 44, right? Here's the cast. Tom Hardy, Gary Oldman, Naomi Rapace, Joel Kinnaman, Vincent Cassell, Jason Clarke. We're talking about some pretty big heavy hitters when it comes to acting. And here's your plot. It's set in post-World War II Russia. And there's this guy going around killing children. Petty Considine, I should say. He's in it too. I love his stuff. So there's this one kind of somewhat disgraced detective played by Tom Hardy who's trying to get down to what happened here and find out everything what happened. I got to tell you, when I first heard about this, talk about it sounds like a gripping thriller coupled with this whole, living in this Soviet Union Russia, when if you say the wrong thing, you'll just disappear. I mean, so many great ideas we can run through with this thing. And I got to tell you, the thing's an absolute failure.
Really?
It's horrible. Hardy's solid in it. Gary Oldman is okay in it. It's really long. It's dull. It's a great idea for a thriller that is just so poorly executed on every single front. I can't begin to tell you. I don't know if maybe it's trying to do too much. The problem, maybe it just never commits enough to one thing. We're going to focus on Tom Hardy and Naomi Rapace's relationship. There's the mystery at the heart of the film. Maybe there's a political thriller in here as well. There's a rivalries between Tom Hardy and Joel Kinnaman's character. But it handles them all so ham-fistedly and never gives either of them enough time to really let anything kind of develop or even be interesting. And that's the biggest crime of this film, is that it's not interesting. At no point do you care about anything that happens. Supposedly you have these really high stakes. Child 44. Dave, Matt, there are 44 children dead in this place.
Right.
And at no point do you give a damn.
Okay.
It's just murkily shot, poorly lit. Hardy is fine. Hardy does what he can, I think, with the material. He's okay, but it's a major disappointment for me, which is too bad because I was really looking forward to this one. And it's frustrating because it's such a great idea. There's so many great things. Think about that. You're hunting a serial killer of children, But in an environment, in a government that says, there's no murder here. That's a capitalist problem. We don't have that issue here.
Right.
So you're going against the system as well. And it's the Soviet Union. I mean,
right.
So many great opportunities and just wasted.
I'm sorry. Well, it's a bummer. So even the acting wasn't that great from the principals?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's just that you don't care.
Okay.
There's so much more wrong with it. It's almost harder to get past that.
All right.
And it's if you're that one review I read, which I think makes sense. If you're a Tom Hardy completist, then I'd say see the film. But that's all I can tell you. And they set it up too. I guess it's based on this. It's a trilogy of books. So there's 2 other ones, and it's definitely set for a sequel. And that is never going to happen at this point. Let's be honest. There's not going to be another one, and rightfully so. If this is what I'd have to see again, I don't want to see another one.
Interesting. Well, I find it very interesting that there would be such a thing as a Tom Hardy completist out there.
Oh, we're out there.
Oh, okay.
I fell in love with that guy. Remember that? I made you guys watch that movie Bronson, where he played the legendary English criminal.
Yeah, and I saw his wang for a good 15 minutes.
Which is out because it's only on screen for 3 minutes, so I'm not sure why you. But all right, to each their own.
Maybe it just seemed a lot longer while I was watching it.
Could be. I'm not sure where you're going with that longer.
Choice of words there, yeah.
So, if you'd seen either Child 44, and if you have, I'm sorry. If you haven't, don't. Or Unfriended, which I think you shoot us an email at feedback@thefirstrun.com. All right, let's shift over to the Blu-ray DVD picks. Matt, this is what's coming up on April 28th, this upcoming Tuesday. One of the films that was in my top 10, though it's frustrating because it's very weird and involved, and but I definitely want to see it again. It's P.T. Anderson's Inherent Vice is being released.
Oh, good. I wanted to see that.
I really enjoyed it, but it beggars repeat viewings because it's so convoluted and dense. Some features, there's really no special features on it. A couple 2-3 minute featurettes. I'm wondering if Criterion or someone's going to get their hand on this and release a bigger version at some point. Mark Wahlberg's, I don't know if you want to call it a failure, but it didn't really do much. We didn't even see it.
Sorry.
The Gambler, where Wahlberg plays a gambler and something goes bad and stuff. I don't know. But that's getting released for all the Mark Wahlberg completists out there. What else we got coming up? The Wedding Ringer, the Kevin Hart star that keeps shining with Josh Gad. Includes selected scenes commentary with a director, 15 deleted scenes, 5 outtake reels, a line-o-rama, a bunch of stuff. I didn't get to see The Wedding Ringer as well. I don't know. I like Kevin Hart, so maybe if it hits Netflix, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
If you want to see Jennifer Lopez do her, what you would call it, the older woman thing when she seduces the young guy. Well, the boy, let me tell you, I'll just tell you, The Boy Next Door, where she hangs out with her friends, her kid's best friend, or the new neighbor, and ends up being a student in her class, and things go crazy from there. That's coming out with some deleted scenes and a making of and commentary by the director. Paddington. Sorry?
It's basically a gender-swapped version of The Crush, the Alicia Silverstone vehicle from 1993.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for your input. I appreciate you participating. Paddington, which I don't know if you watched with the little one. I heard it's actually pretty good, Paddington. And if you buy it from Walmart, you get a plush bear. If you get it from Best Buy, you get a watch. Target gives you a book and a lenticular cover. And there's some behind-the-scenes featurettes, meet the characters, and then from page to screen, and then a music video for this big song, I guess, Shine, which features Gwen Stefani and Pharrell. I'm not sure if it comes with a Pharrell hat, but you can get to see Paddington. Yes. Criterion is giving us the Friends of Eddie Coyle. Have you ever seen the Friends of Eddie Coyle, Matt?
No, I have not.
It's one of Mitchum's last films, and he plays kind of a washed-up, not quite a gangster, but a bad guy. And all the stuff that revolves around him that eventually kind of takes him down. He's kind of a low-level thug kind of guy too. So if you haven't seen it, it's actually pretty good. And it's getting released on Blu-ray, but from Criterion. They're also giving us Pierre Melville's Le Silence de la Mer, which I think is how it's pronounced. Right? Is that how you pronounce it?
I have no idea.
Sounds good. Includes a new high-definition digital restoration 24 Hours in the Life of a Clown, Melville's 17-minute first film. New an interview with film scholar Jeanette Vicendiu, right? Nailed it. Interview from Melville from 1959 as well. Spaceballs is getting a brand new Your Helmet is So Big edition. Includes audio commentary by Mel Brooks. I haven't seen Spaceballs in a long time, but I've always been a fierce opponent to the film in my latter years. Like, I liked it when I was a kid, but
I think it's one of those things that's not going to have held up at all, and you're going to be very disappointed.
Yeah. So you get one of the new features. You get to watch the movie. I mean, this not be a new one, but you watch it at ludicrous speed when I think the whole thing is sped up.
Okay.
And some other new featurettes. I don't know. I don't really care. From a Whisper to a Scream, a Vincent Price horror film is being released as well. On the night his niece is executed for committing a string of brutal killings, historian Julian White, Vincent Price, reveals the sinister secrets of her hometown, Oldfield, Tennessee. A horrific Hamlet that spawns evil. I love Vincent Price. I've never seen From a Whisper to a Scream, so I'd like to check that out at some point. Includes audio commentary with the writer and director, Jeff Burr. So you can check that out. What else? Stuff making its release on Blu-ray for the first time. Miami Blues, Lord of the Flies, the 1990 version, and then Little Man Tate. Your straight to DVD pick of the week. I'm going to go with The Walking Deceased. Can you figure out what we're casting on here? A month into the zombie apocalypse, a group of survivors, including 4 who, for safety reasons, go by the names of their favorite cities: Green Bay, Chicago, Brooklyn, and Harlem. A sheriff, fresh off a nice, relaxing 6-week coma, his small business owner, 10-year-old son, not named Coral, and a voiceover-prone zombie, Romeo, who has convinced the group that he's not dead, just a little slow, are forced from the safety of their mall camp in hopes of finding a rumored safe haven. That's one of my favorite memes, is the Rick screaming at Coral. He's telling the bad jokes. If you've seen that one. So, also, what you should be streaming this weekend or now? Well, the Babadook. We're all really big fans of the Babadook around here. So, and it's hit on Netflix streaming right now. And they just got A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, which is an Iranian vampire film that also supposed to be almost very much like a mash between horror and spaghetti western.
Nice.
And I'm really interested in checking that out. In fact, Matt and I will be checking that out for the next show. And then what else I want to show? I want to show you what I picked up. So you have to watch the live show on YouTube. But this week I got the Goblin vinyl and CD limited edition Murder Collection. It's kind of like a greatest hits of all of their horror stuff. And it comes with a vinyl and CD, so I'm very excited for that. What I'm torn about, it's a limited edition. I got number 354 or 500, right, Matt?
Yeah.
But it's sealed. I don't know if you can see that. It's sealed at the top.
Okay.
So do I break it? Do I open it so I can get the CD burned into my iTunes? I think I have to.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Or do I just break the seal at the bottom, cut the bottom, and not break the seal at the top? No, that's stupid. Okay. So do you have any news for us? What's going on out there?
Well, first, there's not a whole lot going on out there, but I'll tell you what's going on. So the last time I was on the show, I believe I talked about Super Troopers 2, and yes. The Broken Lizard was doing a crowd funding, crowdfunding event to try and get the movie funded on Indiegogo. The goal was to reach $2 million, and in 26 hours they reached that goal, and they're up to $4.5 million, and they're still going. So obviously this is going to get made. People really seem to want to see Super Troopers 2, so yeah, it looks like it's going to happen.
Now, I think I've said before, I've never seen the original.
Yeah.
And the only thing I've seen of them is the Club Dead or Dread or whatever it was. I watched like an hour of it or half hour. I didn't like it, so I stopped watching it.
Yeah, that one's really bad. Super Troopers is only okay. I think a lot of people like it more than I think it's really worth liking. Although I did enjoy Beer Fest. I thought that was a pretty, fun, stupid, raunchy comedy. I thought that was a pretty good one.
Hey, if the kids want to pay to see it, that's great.
That's true.
Does this mean I can get a GoFundMe going or something for the Street Hawk movie I've always wanted?
Yes. I think you owe it to everyone.
I want a Street Hawk Knight Rider mashup is really what I want. Badly.
Very good. All right. What else is going on? So let's see. Benedict Cumberbatch is apparently going to played Doctor Strange in a cameo in the Iron Fist Netflix series before he shows up in his film, and Charlie Cox is trying to work his way into Captain America Civil War as a Daredevil cameo. So we'll see if either of those things end up happening.
I kind of like the Doctor Strange as part of that stuff. And I guess what the other thing is they're shooting for is the Defenders.
Yes.
Defenders movie, or is it going to be a Defenders Netflix show?
I don't know. That's a good question. I know it's going to be a Netflix. It's either going to be a Netflix movie or a Netflix show. I think it's going to be a show, but I don't know if it'll be like a full 10 episodes.
It wasn't the Defenders. It was Doctor Strange. It was the Hulk, right?
See, the Defenders in the comics was way more powerful. It was Doctor Strange, the Hulk, Silver Surfer, and somebody else. I forget who it was. But I mean, basically the power output of the four guys could have basically leveled anything. So I don't even know what they were trying to do. So, they're going.
Go ahead.
No, they're going the complete opposite.
Mm-hmm. I know. I saw some of the some advertisements too for they pushed like they said with Captain America, the first Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen commercials or advertisements for Daredevil, the first Defender.
Right.
Which I thought, well, I see what we're trying to do here. And you know what? There may be some more Daredevil discussion coming up in our final segment of TFR Libs. I have some things I want to talk about. I finished it.
Did you?
So
okay, good.
About it. All right. Anything else?
The only other thing is, CinemaCon would just got finished out in Las Vegas. It used to be called Show West. So the movie theater owners have been screening a lot of movies, or at least showing bits and pieces. The Arnold Schwarzenegger zombie film Maggie has been getting piss poor reviews. So apparently it's not good. So hopefully we'll see how that goes. I assume that it's something that you really wanted to see, Chris, because it seems like it's right in your wheelhouse with Arnie and zombies.
It was. When I first heard about it like a year ago, I was really excited about it. And then I just saw earlier today that the reviews say it's absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm very disappointed about that. I like the idea of Arnie doing an art house zombie film.
Yeah.
But I guess that's not going to happen.
I'm sorry, Chris.
I guess I really have to hope that Terminator Genesis is going to be good.
Yeah.
With that awesome trailer that ruins everything.
I know. That means they gotta be holding something even bigger in reserve, right?
What could it be?
I have no idea.
As a Terminator?
I have no idea.
I still can't. I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. If you haven't seen the Terminator Genesis trailer, the new one, do not see it.
Unless you want to be spoiled.
But it is. I still can't wrap my head around it. Why would I just. So somebody needs to get fired. It's so stupid. People are going to go see that movie. We're going to go see that movie. You didn't have to put that in it. And it would have been great for people like me. I would have been, damn, when that happened. And now I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I saw that. Idiots.
All right. And then I guess also coming out of CinemaCon, is that I guess they've shown some bits and pieces of the new Matt Damon film, The Martian, which is based on a astronaut who gets stranded on Mars, left behind by his mission, and he has to try and survive by himself. And apparently, as far as hard science fiction goes, the early buzz is that it's excellent. It might even be better than Interstellar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, wow. I've been thinking about I need to watch Interstellar again.
Yeah.
I do have it. So, but part of me is nervous about watching it again because
you're going to be less forgiving when it's not huge up on the big screen with the bass rumbling through your chest.
Look, it took me like 2 years to accept the fact that The Dark Knight Rises is not as good as I was claimed it was.
But you got there eventually, so that's all that matters.
That's true. I've been wanting to watch The Dark Knight again too for some reason. I don't know. I just prepping this show. One of my questions. Well, I think I've already ruined it. But I saw some clips from The Dark Knight, and I think I need to watch it again. It's been I think like a year since I've watched it.
All right.
So listen to me. It's been a year since I've watched it.
Yeah.
So I have to watch it again.
Maybe 3, 4 for me. So
like it's Casablanca or it's yeah.
All right, that's all I got.
Good times. All right, so let's just shift over to TFR Lives. First, let me just say, I saw the second episode of Game of Thrones earlier today.
Okay.
Of this season. Could there be a less charismatic leader than Jon Snow?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, I I've hitched my horse to Jon Snow. You know, I don't know. I mean, I guess he's really disappointing, but really, what are your options? I mean, I can't stand Dany either. She's just annoying. It's I hate the only people I like are like Tyrion, and that's it.
Yeah. Dinklage is pretty much why I watch the show.
Yeah,
and waiting for the goddamn dragons to do something. We finally saw one of them again today.
Yeah,
or the latest episode, but still, nothing.
And can I tell you that like Netflix has completely spoiled me? Like I want them to release like all of the episodes on HBO Go just so I can just burn through it and get it over with, you know?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I still don't know if it ruined. I don't know if well, we'll talk about it. Okay, let's start. I have a bunch here. I think you only have a couple, so I'll start.
Right, I only have a couple. Okay.
Tyler Perry. Let's reset that. Tyler Perry joining Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 as Baxter Stockman is blank. And for the kids at home who don't remember, Baxter Stockman is a scientist guy. He creates the little robot mousers.
Yeah.
Right? But he eventually turns into like a big fly character as well. So your reminder. Genius casting by Michael Bay.
I think it's going to be a huge mistake. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it really depends on what. I mean, you know, my daughter has been watching some of the old Ninja Turtle shows, so I guess I think it really depends on what kind of character he's going to play. Is he going to play like an annoying one, or is he going to try and like do some of these? What was the detective movie that he was in?
Alex Cross.
Yes, Alex Cross. Or is it going to be like all gravelly, serious? Either way, I think it's going to be unbearably annoying. So I think it's a massive mistake.
Let me tell you, I think he could salvage that whole franchise, a TMNT franchise. No, not at all. All I'm going to say is I remember when we did our discussion of Gone Girl, and I think one of the first things I said was Tyler effing Perry. He's so good in that movie that I don't know. It almost made me forgive. I never watched Alex Cross, so I can't say anything. I think it's on Netflix. Maybe I'll have to watch that if I'm feeling particularly bad about myself. Yeah, I don't know. You know what is... So if I had to answer my own question, Tyler Perry joining TMNT as Baxter Stockman is useless. I don't care. I didn't see the first one. I'm not going to see this one. This is one of those things from my childhood that I have no interest in revisiting this franchise at all.
Yeah.
You know,
it looked like a dumpster fire.
What's that now?
I mean, the first one looked like a dumpster fire. I never saw it, but I mean, I saw the previews and it looked atrocious.
Yeah, I just don't. I liked it a little bit when I was younger. But I have no interest.
Yeah.
Who cares? All right. I'm glad I brought it up. What do you got for me?
All right. I think you know where I'm going. I'm cutting right to the quick with this one because I know it's got to be on your list. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way.
All right.
The new picture of Jared Leto as the Joker is
a massive mistake.
Wow. I think, you know what? We made the exact same fill in the blank for 2 questions in a row. Explain yourself.
I would say emblematic of everything that is wrong with how they're handling the DC cinematic universe.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen this picture, you know what? And during the show, when I actually edit the YouTube together for this, I will post the picture so you can look at it while we're talking about it. First off, he's got a grill. And he's got tattoos of the word "ha" all over one shoulder. He's got the Cheshire Cat grin on his other arm. This is all for the Suicide Squad film, if anybody didn't know. And I listen, when they said Jared Leto was attached to play the Joker, I was reasonably excited about that. I think the kid is a fantastic actor. You want to watch Dallas Buyers Club. It was where he won the Academy Award. You will be blown away. I think it's entirely wrong. It's maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like this hipster version of the Joker where they're kind of mishmashing a bunch of different things into the character. And I just think it's just not going to work. This visual, just one visual picture of him, it illustrates, I think, everything that's wrong with what they're doing with not just with his character, I think, but the DC cinematic universe. It just screams tone deaf.
Right.
I don't know. Tell me what you thought.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty terrible. I think the best part it was literally in script on his forehead in tiny little letters. It's got tattooed damaged across his forehead.
Yep.
Way to turn what little subtext there is with the Joker into explicit text. But I mean, I guess I've been reading a couple things, and I will say this. One, there's some kind of, I think, fanboy hopes, which probably will prove to be in vain, but they're trying to say that maybe because he's incarcerated and he's being forced to be a soldier or whatever, that he's dressing up as kind of like the stereotypical gang person in prison or something. That's why the tattoos are there and the grill's there and all that kind of stuff. So it's a joke by the Joker. And I guess I will see that there are a couple leaked pictures out there, and one of them is is a GIF of him kind of making some movements and then going into like the smile. And it was actually, he was all covered up, obviously you couldn't see any of the tattoos, but it was actually really creepy to watch him do it. He actually looked really good when he was doing the whole Joker grin. It gave more of obviously a lot less than the Dark Knight. It was much more of a Mark Hamill kind of, Dark Knight video game type Joker thing going on. So at least from the silent picture I saw. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it'll be all right.
Maybe. My problem is I feel like I'm getting David Blaine Joker. Like, that's what I'm terrified of. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll all turn out to be fine. But, and I mean, one of the first things Snyder released of the picture was the Killing Joke homage, right?
Yeah. Well, it's not Snyder. It's, who is it? Goyer? David Goyer? Is that who it is?
Oh, well, David Ayers, the guy who did Fury, the Brad Pitt tank movie, is the guy directing it.
Oh, okay. Then I think that's who it was. Yeah, excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, the whole casting is weird. I mean, Will Smith being in it. I think Margot Robbie could be good as Harley Quinn, but the rest, everybody else, I'm kind of like, we'll see. We'll see how this works out.
I'm not feeling a street level hipster punk gangsta Joker, and that's what I'm terrified I'm going to get.
But even Joker, even being in the Suicide Squad, it doesn't really seem like he belongs there,
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think he does either. And I think they've handled the Suicide Squad much better in Arrow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, granted, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about because the movie's not, are they even filming it yet? Christ.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm not, man, after watching that Batman Superman trailer that came out last week, did you see that thing floating around the internet this weekend with the color, corrected version of Man of Steel?
I saw some links for it. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
It's interesting. Some people are accusing them of actually darkening the Man of Steel for the use in their clip, that it wasn't as dark as they say. Okay. But even if that's the case, the how much they've brightened the film, and Superman's suit should not be that dark. It should be brighter. Right. And I just hope they continue with that. Dour Superman is not the way to go, people. It's not. You can have some humor in your films and have fun. Watch The Flash. It's your own damn show on the networks, on the what is it? The CW.
Yeah, well, the problem is that
show on television.
I mean, DC and WB. The shows are basically have a lot of autonomy because they're, it's just a CW thing. It doesn't have a lot writing on it, so they can do whatever they want. Whereas they've got so much writing on these movies that it's just too much interference. They're just too worried that people want grim and serious, and they forgot that it's not 1987 anymore. So,
Did you hear too that oh crap, who said it? They said that Edgar Wright's it was
Whedon. Yeah,
Edgar Wright's script for Ant-Man was the best thing to come out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah,
but I guess the whole reason why Edgar Wright left was because they wanted it to be part of that greater universe, and that's not what his film was.
Right. He didn't want to tie it in. He kind of wanted it to be its own thing.
That's too bad. I would love to have seen what Wright would have done with that film. Ant-Man still might be good. It's Paul Rudd, who I like a lot. So
I'm sure it'll be fine. Even second tier, third tier, MCU stuff is at least watchable.
Yep, true. All right. So have you seen the trailer for The Visit yet?
No.
All right. Well, this will be a little tough for you, but I'm still going to ask you. M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit will be blank. Now, to give you a little background,
I have seen the poster.
Okay, so the two kids get sent to spend like the summer or something with their grandparents, and the grandparents seem very sweet and stuff, but they tell them, listen, do not leave your room after 9:30. And at one point they open the door and they see somebody scratching on the walls, and I guess there's something really weird going on there at the house. Almost like a Hansel and Gretel-esque type thing. So let me ask you then, Matt, the visit will be blank.
The visit will be watchable, but ultimately disappointing. I think, M. Night Shyamalan's been working with these smaller budgets. I thought Devil was okay. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was all right.
I would agree. The guy that's married to Christina Hendricks is in that. That's the only reason I know him.
Has he made anything else since Devil? I don't know. I guess, but I mean,
well, he didn't even make that, right? Didn't he just produce it and wrote it?
I don't think he did. I don't think he did direct it. He didn't direct it. You're right. I don't think he did direct it. But you know what? I mean, as far as directing goes, I mean, he's got a decent visual style. I mean, it's not like that's really his problem. I just think with the fact that if it's a smaller budget thing, he seems to do better with smaller budgets where he's forced to kind of, rein in some of his tendencies, because he doesn't have the money to kind of go full out. So we'll see.
I'd say it will be much more of the same. More underwhelming, just soul-crushing disappointment. It's too bad. I think still I'd like to see what he would do with an Unbreakable sequel, just to see if if he still has something in there, because that was supposed to be a trilogy at some point, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
But I don't know, and I still like it though. That's another one I haven't watched. I probably haven't watched Unbreakable since Christ. When did that thing come out? How many years ago was that?
Well, it had to be 97, 98?
2000.
2000. Okay.
So 15 years. 15 years ago.
Wow.
Oh well, I'll have to decide. All right, do you have any more?
Yeah, I have one more. It's not a film one, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes. Okay.
Frank Miller has announced a sequel. Another sequel that is not necessary. So, The Dark Knight, The Master Race will be worse
than DK2.
And that was atrocious.
It was. And he's really, Miller, I'm sorry, but I worry about that guy. Not that I worry about him personally. I worry about what he does.
Right.
Because I'm starting to think he is just a sexist, racist, fascist kind of guy who's just putting all of his ultra crazy thoughts into these series.
Right.
And I don't know. I did not listen. I tried. I think I read, what was DKR2 was like 3 issues?
Yeah.
I think I got the first 2, and they were so bad. And when he did that Batman and Robin series,
oh, I know, All-Star Batman was so bad.
I don't understand what they're just trading. They're trading on his name at this point. I guess his art has really gotten bad. I don't know if it's the fact that it's his wife that does his inks now, right? It's not even Claus Janson.
Yeah,
but his art has suffered horribly, and it's just the story. I am. It's going to be horrible.
See, and what's funny is that him and Alan Moore have really gone into the loony bin. And I was reading about this, and I didn't realize there's a pretty vocal contingent out there that says that The Dark Knight Returns is they don't like it. They don't think it's good. I think it's a really tipping point into making Batman the kind of invincible, infallible. He's 5 steps ahead of everybody else. Kind of guy. And it was funny that people were when you read The Dark Knight Returns, if that was the first thing you had read, you think it's kind of being subversive and he's kind of giving symbolism or whatever. And then you read the next one and you realize, oh wait, he means everything that he's actually saying in The Dark Knight Returns. This is what Frank Miller actually believes. So it's not kind of like a twist. That's all what he wants. So it's kind of depressing when you kind of see that revisionist stuff brought around based off of later work.
Listen, for me, I think the best thing he ever did with Batman is Year One. I think Year One is a thing of beauty. And I don't know if it's because of Mazzucchelli's pencils. The art in that is breathtaking. But yeah, Year One is still for me the best thing. But it is Dark Knight Returns. That's your linchpin. That's the catalyst.
Yeah.
For the turn to adult dark material in comic books. That was the first one.
Right.
I'm not looking. I'm not going to get it.
Me neither.
I'm not going to get it. I've been toying back and forth about picking up Convergence.
Yeah.
But I haven't. I'd have to run into it. I'm not going to make an effort. If I find it like at a Barnes and Noble or something, I'll pick it up. But there's a couple comic shops in the area, and I've made no effort to go pick it up. So I guess it's not that important to me. All right, I got one more for you, and not technically movie related as well. The finale of Daredevil was blank.
The finale, I guess I would have to say a little blah. I would say the weird thing about that show, the series was awesome. Like the first maybe 4 or 5 episodes were great, and then it just kind of slowly plummeted off the side of the bell curve, and had some dips in quality. I mean, it ended up being okay, but I think it took so much time to kind of breathe in the first half that when they're like, oh crap, we've only got half this show left, and they kind of had to squeeze everything in there, I thought it was okay. It was okay. The end was okay. Yeah, but I still enjoyed the series.
I enjoyed it as well, but I'd have to say the finale of Daredevil was disappointing. It's the only thing that was, I think, worth it for me in the finale was the introduction of the suit. I like the costume a lot. I think it's very well designed. I think it looks great. I'm very excited about that. I'm sad we had to wait till the absolute last 20 minutes to get it.
Yeah.
But still, I get it. And I don't have any issues with that. That's fine. My real problem is the tonal shift of that show. It starts off as a crime thriller show, right? That's basically what it is. And then it slowly devolves into just a dumb-minded superhero show as it progresses. It really, I feel, loses what was so special about it in the first 4 or 5 episodes, like you say. And each episode kind of got worse and worse. It's still fine. It's still good. I think it's better than Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., especially that first season.
Yeah.
And the action scenes and the fight choreography is the best thing that Marvel's done TV-wise. But and I like what it represents, too, that Marvel's willing to go to that extra level, when it comes to the violence.
Yeah.
So it makes me even feel more confident about Deadpool. But wait, Deadpool's Fox, isn't it? That's separate, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a mutant one, so that's Fox.
Never mind then.
Yeah.
Still, I was disappointed with the finale. Overall, as a series, I enjoyed it. I like the suit, like I said, but what it did to its characters, like D'Onofrio's Fisk.
Yeah,
I loved his evolution in the show when he sees himself as the hero through the whole time, and at the end he becomes the villain and he realizes it. Except, you know what? I didn't need this huge exposition of that. I get it. I see that he gets it.
Right.
We got to go through this whole long tale in the back of the truck. That I get it. All right, fine. Or the speech he has with Daredevil in the alley at the end.
Yeah.
I didn't need it. I got it.
Well, you know what? And all it was they were just paying homage to Mr. Miller again. Just pontificating and kind of really getting into the comic bookness of it. But I mean, what's good is it's already been picked up for a second season. The original showrunner is not going to be able to do it, so he's actually handing it over to 2 other guys. So maybe it'll, maybe the tonal shift, maybe they'll see some of the kind of the feedback and they'll be able to pivot. Because I'm anticipating the next season will be about the Hand and Elektra. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I'm confident too. I think maybe these 2 new guys, who I think wrote and directed a couple of the episodes in this season.
Some of the early episodes, some of the stronger episodes.
So I'm hoping maybe they'll be able to steer the ship proper here.
Right.
And they did. They had that they had that little moment with Elektra, right? They mentioned her in one scene.
Yeah.
So maybe she'll come in. Maybe we'll get Bullseye at some point. That'd be fun.
I can't wait to see Bullseye. I think that's going to be good.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't have the scar of the bullseye in his forehead.
I think they'll avoid that.
And the alligator green leather coat.
Yes.
Anyway.
I think we already saw Bullseye. I think he's the guy who shot the police detective.
Oh yeah?
That's the thought.
Interesting.
Yeah, because he had cards on his bag. Aces of spades. Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to go back and check that out. All right. So that's that. That's our fill in the blanks. If you have any more, or if you'd like to share your thoughts on what we talked about, shoot us an email at feedback@thefirstrun.com. Matt, what we got coming up next? Well, I talked about it last week. I said I was going to watch it for this week's show. or the week, and then I realized it wasn't playing anywhere near me, so I couldn't see it. And that's Ex Machina. But it's wide now, so we'll be hitting that up next week. I'm very excited to talk about that.
Do you know what the Turing test is?
Yeah, I know what the Turing test is. It's when a human interacts with a computer. And if the human doesn't know they're interacting with a computer, the test is passed.
And what does a pass tell us?
That the computer has artificial intelligence. Are you building an AI?
I've already built one. And over the next few days, you're going to be the human component in the Turing test.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's right, Caleb. You got it. Because if that test is passed, you are dead center of the greatest scientific event in the history of man.
If you've created a conscious machine, it's not the history of man. That's the history of gods.
And who knows what we'll do for our final segment. But that's going to be it. That's going to be the big show for this week. So, Matt, anything you'd like to add? Anyone you say hi to? Anything you want to plug? You have any appearances at local strip clubs or comic shops coming up this week?
No more than my usual stuff, so my fans know where to find me.
Fair enough. All right, check us out on YouTube. Watch the video version of the show. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just do a quick follow. I used to do something on Sunday nights when I'd watch a cult film on Sunday nights and then live tweet as I do it. I think I'm going to do that tonight with the Beyond, Lucio Fulci's Beyond, which is one of my favorites. So that's it. That's going to be the big show for this week. Thanks, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you all in a week.
I need a second, okay? Why can't anybody give me a goddamn second?